Okay, good morning to all the third year geography. I'm on page 211. I'm continuing with urbanisation. So we're going to look at the effects of urbanisation. Cities can be great places to live. There's a lot to do, but there are certainly many problems associated with the growth of urban areas. These problems are largely down to lack of planning. Facilities and services as the ever-growing populations of towns and cities need to be planned for both in Ireland and around the world. Good planning does not always happen, and certainly we fail in that here in Ireland. Okay, so we're looking here, it's a diagram. It's urban growth in Ireland over 50 years. So this part here represents us. This is rural Ireland, and rural Ireland has stayed very stable. Okay, it's saying there rural areas 53.6% back in 1966, but today it has decreased, and in 2016 we represent 37.3% of the population. So more and more land has been given over to the growth of towns and cities. This line here, okay, it represents towns between 1,500 and 5,000. And that's where we are. Castleisland town has 2,500 of population. The next towns, okay, and you can see Castleisland really over the years, it hasn't grown much. The next one is the yellow one. This is towns 5,000 to 10,000. Okay, so the towns in this category, I was trying to get it for Kerry and I couldn't find one. Ballina in County Mayo and Tuam in County Galway. Okay, the next one is pink, right? And these represent towns of 10,000 or over. And these are where the two big towns of Kerry come in. Killarney is at 14,500 and Tralee at 23,600. So you can see the huge growth in these towns, okay, from the year 1966 to 2016. The next is the blue, and the blue represent the other three main towns. So the other three main towns is Limerick, Galway, and I'm assuming maybe Kilkenny. It's either Kilkenny or Waterford. Okay, so these three towns haven't grown too much. The next one is, they've increased quite a lot from that up to that, so they have. The next is the red, and the red is Cork City and suburbs. Okay, so that has grown from all of this, okay, to right up to this increase here. So a massive increase again for Cork City. The population of Cork is 208,600. The last one then is Dublin. So Dublin has gone from this size, okay, to right up to here. Okay, and Dublin today has a population of over 1 million. So the growth of Dublin has been huge, okay, much bigger than any other town or city in the country. Okay, and unfortunately there has certainly been a lack of planning facilities and services. If you look here, this is gridlock on the M50 near Dublin. Okay, so before I moved down and married the farmer, Miss Killington was stuck on this M50, commuting for an hour every day. It's bumper to bumper traffic. And this was due to lack of planning, okay? The town or the city was growing and growing, where I taught in Coolmine Community School. That was originally all green fields in the area. And then they started building what you call are these typical housing estates after housing estates. Then they built the Blanchardstown shopping centre, and you just had major traffic problems. Okay, so traffic congestion is the number one effect, okay, and that's your heading, effects of urbanisation, and then we just start writing here. The movement of people within an urban area on a daily basis can lead to traffic congestion. Commuters are people who travel to and from work by car, bus or train. Okay, so that's underlined. There's a pattern to their movement and generally it is repeated at the same time every day. And this is referred to as rush hour. Rush hour is people going to work in the morning, coming home in the evening. So rush hour generally occurs from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. This is people going to work and coming home. Our underdeveloped public transport services and transport infrastructure causes traffic congestion. Okay, so we look at ourselves. How do you travel to school? How long does it take? So lads, most of us it's either car or bus. It doesn't take, well, for me, it takes 7 minutes drive, okay, as opposed to 1 hour on the M50. Now, it didn't take as long coming home because the school was finished before 5 p.m. It was about 40 minutes coming home. But in the morning, when you're trying to be in for 9 a.m., it would take an hour. Okay, urban sprawl. Urban sprawl is the rapid spread of housing from the cities outwards into the countryside. Farmers are going to sell up their land if they're going to get big money, if it's going to be for urban development. As a result of this, valuable farmland and green open spaces are taken over by roads and houses. Smaller villages and towns become absorbed by the city, putting pressure on services such as water supply and sewage. Okay, so it's the first sentence is the one that's underlined, and then all of this. Towns around a major city can also see an increase in their population as people settle there and commute to the city for work. These commuter towns are known as satellite or dormitory towns, and they grow at a rapid rate. So an example is Naas, Ashbourne, Drogheda in County Meath. Okay, and you need to know what a satellite town is. It's a town that is close to a major urban centre. So Naas is close to Dublin. Okay, and if you are on the Naas dual carriageway or the motorway coming from Kerry going into Dublin, you're passing by the outskirts of Naas, and it is once again bumper to bumper during rush hour traffic. Okay, it is the same with Ashbourne in County Meath and the same in Drogheda in County Louth. People are all zoning. So many in Drogheda work in Dublin. They work on a lot of them are working in the likes of Swords and in the airport. Okay, so there's major traffic congestion in the mornings. So I want you to write up, it's not a huge amount of writing, write up what's underlined here and here with your heading. Effects of urbanisation, traffic congestion is one. Write out what's underlined. Urban sprawl is one, and then write out what's underlined. And please learn it as well. Okay, slán.